The smell of smoked brisket and fresh-cut grass was instantly incinerated by the high-pitched shriek of pure, unadulterated entitlement. "You cannot park that thing there. Are you serious right now?" I hadn't even taken my boots off. My beautiful, beaten-up, non-regulation personal pickup truck, the one I used for fishing trips and hauling lumber, not patrol, was sitting squarely in the middle of my own damn driveway, just as it had for the last 5 years. "Oh, good Lord," I sighed, running a tired hand across my jaw, knowing exactly who it was without opening the door. Brenda, the self-appointed queen of Maple Ridge Homeowners Association, a human alarm bell dedicated to making everyone else's suburban life miserable. I opened the front door slowly, stepping out onto the porch, letting the late afternoon sun hit my eyes. The neighborhood looked picture-perfect, all synchronized colonial colors and manicured lawns, which only made Brenda's furious, crimson face stand out more violently. Her eyes were wide, fixed on the faded blue fender of my '85 Chevy. "It's unsightly, Thomas. It violates the Vehicle Aesthetics and Placement Clause, Section 4, Subparagraph B. You know the rules. You're supposed to use your garage for anything that isn't a modern sedan. We have standards here." I leaned against the column, feeling a deep, weary ache settle in my shoulders. This was the third confrontation this month. "Brenda, with all due respect, it's my personal vehicle, it's legally registered, and it's parked in the boundaries of my private property. I'm simply unloading tools. It'll be gone in an hour." An hour? An hour of that eyesore contaminating the sight lines of our community. Her voice cracked like a cheap ceramic plate. She threw her hands up in a gesture of dramatic despair, making her gold Homeowners Association president pin flash maliciously in the sunlight. Wait, Homeowners Association president? That was new. That explained the fresh wave of petty tyranny. "This is a Class A violation. We specifically voted against commercial or utility vehicles being visible from the street overnight, or for periods exceeding 30 minutes during daylight hours. Did you not get the memo?" "I got the memo, Brenda," I replied, my voice dangerously level, the sound of it perhaps a little too quiet for the intensity of the scene. I took a slow, deep breath, tasting the metallic, dry air of an argument heating up, a stark contrast to the distant, pleasant sound of a neighbor's dog barking happily. Why does this always happen when I'm about to relax? And I'm telling you, I'm unloading. It's temporary. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm done discussing my weekend plans with you. I started to turn back inside, hoping the motion would signal the end of this utterly ridiculous performance. That's when the real fun began. "Fine. You want to play hardball, Thomas? Let's play hardball." She whipped out her phone, the screen lighting up her face like a malevolent moon. "I'm calling the authorities right now. I warned you. I warned everyone. I've tolerated this nonsense long enough. You know, you really should respect the rules you agreed to." My body froze, but my mind raced. "Oh, you poor, deluded woman. What are you doing?" I stood absolutely still, letting her dial, letting her posture straighten with righteous fury. She didn't call the Homeowners Association management. She called the non-emergency dispatch line for the county sheriff's department. My department. "Yes, hello? I need to report a severe, ongoing property violation at 4122 Crestline Drive in Maple Ridge," she began, her tone shifting to an artificially smooth, practiced complaint voice. "Yes, it's a large, rusty, unauthorized vehicle. The owner is being completely uncooperative and aggressive. I feel threatened. Can you send an officer? Immediately? Before he drives that terrible thing over my petunias? Thank you, officer." I closed my eyes for a brief, heavy moment. A single, profound sigh escaped my lips. A sigh that held all the exhaustion of managing a county and the exasperation of dealing with one specific, overly entitled resident. She just weaponized my own force against me for a parking spot. I stepped off the porch and waited, pulling my phone from my pocket to text my second-in-command, Deputy Williams, who I knew was on patrol in this quadrant. Code 4 Williams. Respond to 4122 Crestline. I'm the uncooperative male. Bring the camera. The sight of the black and white Ford Explorer rounding the corner 10 minutes later gave Brenda a smug, vindictive glow. She stood with her arms crossed, looking like a triumphant gargoyle. See? This is what happens when people ignore the community standards, Thomas. Justice. Deputy Williams, a tall, professional woman with sharp eyes, pulled up and stepped out. She looked tired, too, probably dealing with 1,000 things more important than my old truck. Her gaze swept over Brenda, over the driveway, and then, slowly, landed on me. Her eyes widened, the slight fatigue immediately replaced by a look of perfect, professional dread. "Ma'am," Williams said, turning to Brenda first, "could you please tell me the nature of the violation?" "The violation is that," Brenda declared, pointing a shaking finger directly at the Chevy. "It's a commercial-style vehicle, and it's been here for 43 minutes. It violates the Homeowners Association covenant that I, as president, uphold. I want it towed and the owner cited." Williams just stood there, holding her notepad, looking back and forth between Brenda and me, clearly waiting for me to take the lead. The atmosphere suddenly felt thick, heavy, silent, and charged with the sound of my own pulse pounding in my ears. I decided it was time. I reached into my jeans pocket, pulling out a slim leather wallet, not the one with cash, but the one with the metal badge. The cold, familiar weight of the silver star felt like an anchor in the suburban storm. I flipped it open, holding it out briefly so the sun caught the official seal and my name engraved beneath the title. "Deputy Williams," I stated, my voice now commanding, no longer Thomas the neighbor, but Sheriff Carter. "I appreciate you responding quickly to this situation. The call is unfounded. You can clear the scene." Brenda's jaw dropped so hard I thought I heard a faint pop. Her triumphant smile evaporated, leaving a vacant, horrified mask. What?" she stammered, her gaze darting from the badge to my face. You can't be. Thomas? Sheriff? The county sheriff." I nodded once, turning my full attention back to her. "That's correct, Brenda. Sheriff Thomas Carter. And just for your information, the local municipal code overrides any homeowners association covenant when it comes to the legal parking of registered, non-commercial vehicles on private property. Furthermore, I sign the appropriations for this department, and wasting police time on a petty aesthetic disagreement could, hypothetically, be viewed as misuse of public resources." The silence that followed was total, broken only by the distant click of Deputy Williams closing her notepad, a sound that, to Brenda, must have sounded like the final gavel of judgment. Brenda's face went from crimson to a bruised purple, and she began to hyperventilate, clutching at her chest. Was she really going to faint over a parking ticket that didn't happen? Williams, now fighting a massive smirk, stepped toward Brenda. "Ma'am, the sheriff is correct. The vehicle is legally parked on private property. We are clearing the scene. Please refrain from calling 911 or non-emergency services for HOA-related disputes in the future. That's an official request." As Williams pulled away, flashing a quick, knowing grin, I felt the tension drain out of me, replaced by a satisfying, cool calm. I looked down at Brenda, who was now stumbling backward toward her own front lawn, utterly defeated. "Enjoy your evening, Brenda," I said, putting the badge away. "And maybe next time, check the county roster before you try to call the cops on your neighbors." Justice, in the quiet suburbs of Maple Ridge, didn't come from dramatic arrests or high-speed chases. It came from a simple metallic flash of authority, reminding the petty tyrants that the actual law, the real power, doesn't always wear a uniform, and sometimes the biggest bullies end up facing the biggest comeuppance right in their own driveway. Don't mistake a man relaxing in jeans for a man without authority. Your small-town power trip might just be the one thing that gets put in check.